y'all hear me? Good morning. Can y'all hear me? I don't know what it's like to be. You don't know what it's like to be me. What if we're all the same in different kinds of ways? Can you? We both know what it's like to be hurt. We both know what it's like to feel pain. But I think it's safe to say we're on to better days. Can you relate? I don't know what it's like to be. You don't know what it's like to be. Gotta see each other's heart. Can you? Sometimes I'm under solid side, but I'm feeling more like dirt. How do I forget so fast who you are and what that's worth? Was there's an evidence of you in every corner of this life. So why do I still try to prove that I don't deserve your time? 'Cause I am yours, and you will always be mine. Seems like madness I've invited to the table by your side. 'Cause I am yours, always be mine. Ambition, dance in my life. I am I'm afraid to just look down. It's like I think I'm in control. I'm giving gravity the doubt. But you left me where I am. Enough for you to fight. And it's the only kind of love that I have ever felt like that. I am yours. You will always be mine. Seems like madness I've invited to the table by your side. I am yours. You will always be mine. I'm a man for ambition. Dance in my divine. 'Cause I am
Hey guys, can you hear me? There's really loud music. I don't know where it's coming from.
got our reservations, but the water that is bound to take us.
Okay, is the music coming from me or? Oh, wait a minute. Turn the music off.
I'm not ready yet.
Okay, good. I'm not either. I couldn't find my phone, my computer. I was like, so I'm on my phone.
Yeah, so typically they've been several people join, like maybe 7 or 8 after. So
Okay,
we got
well,
a
give
few
me
minutes.
like, okay, I'm like, I couldn't find my computer. My cleaning lady came yesterday, and she always puts my stuff up crazy, and I'm like, just leave my stuff alone. So hang on a second.
Turn your cameras on. Let me see them smiling faces. Don't worry, I don't have my makeup on either. Nobody likes my humor, Hannah. I got a chuckle out of Mary. There we go. What up, Jen?
I'm multitasking.
Well, that's how we all roll.
That's why my video's off. Cleaning.
Ah. I wish our pink drink cabinet was that organized. We almost need
it's not usually.
we almost need a 5th bedroom.
It's been a hot mess, so just working on it all.
Jenny Oldham, that's a nice oven range. Oh gosh, I love these Zooms. Like I haven't typically done like a lot of Zooms. And so I just love watching the Zooms and watching everybody's camera angles. It's just great. Like kind of gives me some insight.
I'm making my lean shake.
That's right. Janina's in there making one too.
I'm checking in with my people.
Oh yeah, I noticed you did the flashcards on one of your comments. That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
I just write their name and the date they joined, what they joined with, and then when I check in with them. That's how I keep track.
That's organization skills, which I don't have. And then just wait till you get like a team of 600, and then you're
And
like,
then,
going to
yeah,
the
and
flashcard.
then they have certain dates I check in with them. So much easier.
Look at the puppy behind Mary. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Well, it's back to school week, and so we kind of don't know what to do with ourselves. We don't have kids during the day, and so we're just kind of like been working. Hannah's back. Check out this wonderful view of Jen's cabinet there. It's great. Last week, somebody was working out while they were on the call, which was awesome. Hannah, you've got 2 screens. What's up with this? All right, so we'll go ahead and get started this morning. Let me cut the music. So I think everybody here knows who I am, but you may not know who Hannah Kelly is. You need to remember that name because she is a Sapphire from Louisiana. She is a Raging Cajun. She has been a friend of Janina and I's for a long time, like 2 months. No, I'm just kidding. We've known Hannah for quite some time. We travel together some. We do the events together some. we did a wedding. Yes, Hannah was like a super saver for our wedding. She came down, traveled all the way from Louisiana and worked her booty off in 163-degree weather. It was so hot, y'all, so hot. But anyway, she's got some good stuff for you today. We may not have so many on today since it's back to school week. I really didn't think about this, but I promise there will be several people that catches a replay. So Hannah, how we kind of been doing these in the past is like if they have any questions, they just unmute themselves and they ask you. Sometimes it turns into a Q&A, so you better be ready. So anyway, without further ado, Hannah Kelly. I'm going to mute myself.
Hey guys. All right, y'all let me know if like I start sounding like a robot or anything, because I also live out in the boondocks and I have not great internet. So if you can't understand what I'm saying, please let me know. So am I clear now? I'm good. Okay, cool. So this is actually something that I've taken away from a corporate training that I've been doing with some corporate people right now. It's something that we're doing every day. It's the basics, you guys, but there's a formula on the way that you should be doing things as far as social media. So the very first thing that we're going to do is it's called getting social. It's basically just warming up the algorithm on either whatever your choice of social media is, if it's Facebook or Instagram. Obviously, if you're going to be doing both, it's going to take you more time. If you only have 30 minutes a day, you can have a winning day in 30 minutes. Your social part is just going to be shorter. So I usually tell my team, get social for at least 15 minutes, 30 minutes if you can. If you're going to be trying to do Instagram and Facebook, I would say you're going to need 15 minutes for Facebook and 15 minutes for Instagram. So basically what getting social means is reaching out to or commenting on people's posts, commenting on people's stories. I love commenting on people's stories because it directly messages them and it's not just on their page. So it's just a one-on-one message with them. And sometimes that can go really far. And I've gotten so many signups from that. And it's just, I'm not even talking about Plexus with them. It's just, if they make a post about a story about their vacation, I'm like, oh my gosh, where's that at? We have a conversation going on and on until you're building that relationship. Eventually it's going to come up. Plexus is going to come up eventually. But I like stories because you're in a message with them and it's not just on their page. Another thing that's really good about with getting social is sending happy birthdays, and not just happy birthday on their page. I send people a direct message. I tell them, happy birthday. I hope you had an amazing day. Do you have any plans? Big plans. And I always end everything with a question so that they feel not obligated, but so that they are more likely to message me back. You just send them happy birthday. Okay. And not all the time. And that sometimes they do ignore them, even a happy birthday. And that's okay. But I know 2 people on my team that have signed up because we started talking because I told them happy birthday. And they're like, oh, my big plans are going out to eat with my family. Oh, where y'all going out to eat? If it's somebody local, we're always looking for new places to eat. Blah, blah, blah. Continue the conversation. You just have to get, and I'm such an extrovert, but I've realized that I'm not very good at that. I'm just like, let me scroll. It's less about scroll and building those relationships. So I'm assuming that y'all we physically work on these calls, right? Emmett? Okay. So for the next, I don't know if we really have 15 minutes. Let's say for the next 10 minutes, we're going to get social. And I will, if I think of any other get socials, I'll put it in the chat, and then we'll go on to the next thing, and I'll tell you why it's so important to get social and kind of warm up your algorithm, because I need y'all to be ready to post after this, just FYI. So don't be working on that. You should already have it done to be working with. So 10 minutes. Okay, so it has been 10 minutes. Normally you would want to do this for about 15 to 30 minutes if you have the time, or another thing that you can do. So the reason you want to do it in this order is because you're warming up the algorithm before you make a post to make it more likely for people to see your post. It's more likely to come up in their newsfeed. So a lot of times what I do if I have time is I'll do 15 to 30 minutes, do my post, and then do another 10 minutes or 15 minutes of getting social after I make my post. It's really important to just still be present on social media after you're making your post. So go ahead and make whatever post you had planned to make. And while y'all are doing that, I was going to tell y'all a little bit about, there was something at the end. I put it in the comments. I'm not sure if y'all see it or not. Kind of the steps of getting social, just ideas and stuff. There's one, it says find a group or two to join. Make sure you're making your post right now while I'm talking. Find a group or two to join. I can't tell you how many times I have had people sign up from getting to know them in a group. What are your hobbies? What are things that you like? What are your interests? For me, I am a mom. I'm a homeschool mom. My husband's a fireman. Maybe you're into crocheting or plants or something. They have a group for everything. Maybe you're a musician. Find a group that you can relate to the people that are in that group, that it would be easy to make relationships with. And you don't need to be in 10 of them. Find one or two that have really good, people are in it all the time. And you're not going to go in these groups and talk about Plexus. You're going to go into these groups, and this is part of getting social. You're going to go into these groups. Maybe you have a question. Maybe you like planting and gardening, and you have a question about your plants. Post it in there. Go in and look around a little bit. If somebody has a question, something you have an answer to, something that you can answer, and maybe somebody comments back to you, and y'all keep commenting back and forth, I add that person. I mean, as long as they're not like super weird or something, I add that person. That is the way you're going to continue to grow your network, you guys. It is called network marketing for a reason. You have to continually add people on Facebook and Instagram. And that's been a really good way for me to find new friends that aren't local, or, I would have never known, if I wouldn't have added them on Facebook. And yeah, sometimes you might get that person, they're like, why are you adding me? And be like, oh, well, that's why you need to make sure that you like at least interacted enough that it's not weird that you added them. So you should have made your post by now because we already planned it out, right? Basically the goal for your post needs to be adding value to people's lives, information. If it's about Plexus, needs to be good content, not salesy. And if you're stuck on Plexus post, go look at some other people's posts. Obviously we don't want to keep copying and pasting everybody else's post over and over again, but you can get some kind of ideas from their post to make it your own. And I feel like that's kind of a known thing here in Plexus land, that any post is up for grabs and you can make it your own. So the next 10-15 minutes, this is going to be the next step. And I know this could be a very scary step for most people, but this is going to be reaching out to people. You should not be reaching out to people that you've never talked to before. You should not be messaging people that you went to high school with 20 years ago and you haven't talked to them since. That's where the getting social is so important, because we're building those relationships with these people. And so it's not weird when we reach out and say, hey, we have a call tonight. You want to get on? Obviously, you're going to say something different than that. But hey, I know you've been seeing my posts. Me and my friends have this call that we're getting on tonight, you can be a fly on the wall, like it's nothing major, no one will see you or hear you, would you jump on with me? Hey, I'm sure you've seen my Plexus post by now. Is anything ever piqued your interest? Can I answer any questions for you? Business ask. If it's somebody that you want on your team, be bold and ask them to be on your team. Trying to think of some other messages I've said. You know, if it's somebody that you notice that never comments on any of your stuff, but they watch every single one of your stories, that's somebody you should message. Because sometimes our stories can get kind of long in your Facebook stories. And if they're going through every single one of them, maybe they're interested. What's the worst they can do? Ignore you, say no, move on to the next person. I know it can be hard though. So, yeah, let's do 10 minutes from now of reaching out. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. Was that good? Any responses? Sometimes I know it takes a little time to get responses from people. If you have any questions, please let me know. I will be happy to answer them. So our next step is going to be following up. So following up with existing customers, existing ambassadors, people that said they were going to sign up and haven't, people that said they were going to order and haven't. The list goes on and on with that. Obviously, you can break that down in days. Obviously, if you just talked to somebody yesterday, you're probably not going to follow up today. You might follow up tomorrow. Obviously, y'all keep in mind it's still dollar enrollment for 4 more days, right? Yeah, 4 more days. So definitely want to follow up with those people that said they were going to sign up. Be like, hey, I just don't want you to miss this deal because I really don't know when they're going to do this again. So that is going to be our next step, probably another 10 minutes. And we are going to follow up with people, move people to the next step in your relationship, reconnect, maintain relationships too can be part of your follow up. Right now, I'd really rather you just like follow up with ambassadors and customers and people who wanted to sign up, but this can be part of your follow-up, is following up with those relationships too. And this too can be when you follow up with ambassadors and asking them, like if it's a wholesale ambassador and you haven't talked to them about making money, this could be part of their follow-up too. Everyone should be asked that question. If they don't want to, totally fine. Don't pressure them. But hey, I can't not tell you about this. Tell them a little bit about it. If they're not interested, totally fine. Okay. So the next thing is going to be promoting the next company call. And this goes day by day because there's different calls each day. And if you don't know what calls are each day, you need to know what call is each day because they're so good. They are on the corporate calendar. If you don't know how to find the corporate calendar, it is in the back office. And on the calendar, there is links that you can press that'll go straight to the call. So if it is, what is today? Wednesday. So today there is, I can't remember what's on Wednesday, but just say it's Monday. It's Motivational Monday calls. This is the time I take to message my team about the calls. Hey, tonight is this call, blah, blah, blah. It's going to have this person on it. I really would like us to all get on it. And then, let me try and find the calendar. Go. Okay, then just on home. Sorry, my kids are here. So also, are y'all using the Y Plexus Why Now calls? Because they are so good. And that is something else. I mean, I guess that can be part of your reach out too. But it could be follow up for people that you've already asked to be on there. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find the calendar real quick. Does anybody have any questions so far for me by chance? Mikey, go. This is what happens when you homeschool your kids. Sometimes they're in your calls. Let me see if I can find the calendar real quick. I have it on the tip of my tongue what is on Wednesday nights. Do you happen to know what is on Wednesday nights, Emmett? What call it is? There's a call, and I can't remember what it is.
Not really sure. We usually do our own team calls.
Yeah.
What corporate has.
Hey, it's Mary. I think Wednesdays are welcome to Plexus
Yes,
for new
that is. I'm like, I
ambassadors.
know it starts with a W because it's Wednesday.
Yeah, it's welcome to Plexus for new ambassadors.
Yes, thank you, Mary. Okay, so what I would do right now is message any of your new people that you or your team have signed up in the last week and get them on the Welcome to Plexus calls. Even if they're not interested in the business, hey, we have this call tonight that might, answer a few more of your questions about the products, because they're going to talk about products and they're going to talk about business too. So I'll just take 5 minutes and do that really quick. We don't really have a lot of time to do that right now since it took me 5 minutes to figure that out.
Today is the September 1st composition plan training today too.
Yes, so that would be another thing I would reach out to my people to make sure that they're on that. And even if they can't be on live, usually if you register for it, they will send you the recording for it. Because I think that is super important for all of us to listen to, because we did one for the jewels and I thought I understood everything. And then I was like, wait, what? So make sure y'all are on those calls because, or at least register. That way you can watch the recording. Another thing I wanted to touch on, that's something that you should be doing each day, is having 3 stories. I usually do, because I do try to do Instagram and Facebook. I usually do all of my stories on Instagram and I just have them automatically transfer over to Facebook. If somebody doesn't know what I'm talking about on stories, let me know so I can explain that. Okay, Jennifer. I thought maybe because you were like, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so at the top of your, are you on Instagram or you're on just Facebook or?
I know how to do stories on Facebook and I'm on Instagram, but I really am not, I don't really understand it. I got to get some training. So.
Okay. Well, so I have mine automatically go to, So let me see if I can show you this. Bad example right now because I don't have any stories up right now. They all expired, but you're up here, your
Okay.
little name, there's a plus. If you press
Yeah.
that, that's how you do your stories for this.
Okay.
And then right here in the bottom corner, if you already have pictures saved, well,
Okay.
you can press that and see all your pictures here. So I
Okay.
do want to show y'all something. So like say you're looking at another Plexus person's stories and you're like, oh, I really like those. But if you screenshot it, it has all of their information on it. So then it looks like you screenshotted it. So look, I have, let me see if I can get a good one. Ooh, well, that's not good. Hang on. Okay. So just say that I like Bethany Spears, her story right here. You can hold it down with your, it takes like 3 fingers, but hold it down and you'll see her name went away. So if you hold it down like that and then take your other 2 fingers and then just screenshot it, then you have a screenshot of the same thing. So I can go over to my stories and add it in. And sometimes you have to kind of like move it around a little bit. So I can go in here and make it my own story and it doesn't have her information down. So if I want to like move it down a little bit, I can, so that the time isn't in there, because the time and battery is still going to be up there. Just make sure that's not showing. And then now you have a story that, you know, you liked, but it didn't look like it was going to come from you. It looked like it come from somebody else. And I think for me, stories are a personal thing. It's your everyday life. You know, I try to do a story every day of me mixing up my pink drink so that people know that I'm consistent and I actually use these products too. And it doesn't even always have to be me talking about Plexus. It's just me talking about like, I could be mixing up my pink drink right now, and this is real life what I'm about to have to do. I'm used to do hair. I'm about to do a highlight, but I'm sitting there mixing up my pink drink because they know that that's what I drink and what I do every day. Now, yes, sometimes I'm like, yeah, my pink drink, this is what it does, and blah, blah, blah. And just remember that always the same people are not watching your stories, and 2 totally different people are watching your stories and your posts. So that's why it's super important to do both. For me, I'm a stories person. I would much rather click through stories than scroll posts. And other people are the opposite. So that's why it's super important to do both and make sure that your stories are not all Plexus too. They are everyday life. Mikey's going to have Taekwondo tonight. I might mention that. My daughter is starting dance competition practices. I might mention that. Or, you know, people are just following. It's your story of your life. And Plexus is part of your story and part of your life. So just make sure that you're doing at least 3 stories a day. And that too, you can see who's watching. Like, y'all know how to see that, right? You can see the little button and it'll tell you like 73 people have seen your story. If you click on it, it will tell you every single person that looked at your stories. And that's why I was saying earlier that it would be beneficial to go look at like maybe your last slide and see who actually watched all your stories and reach out to them. Hey, and thanks so much for always watching all of my stories. Is there anything that's ever caught your attention? I love the support, blah, blah. Another really good message that I usually send out, if it's somebody that just always likes my stuff, I'll message them and be like, hey, first of all, thank you so much for the support and always liking all of my posts. If I was to send you a little information about Plexus, would you be open to listening to it? And that I actually have changed that a little bit since we've done the calls. Sometimes I'll ask them to get on the call. If they can't get on the call, I'll just send them the triplex video and be like, hey, this is our most, popular combo. It's what we concentrate the most on gut health. So definitely try to do 3 stories a day. And then get your team to do the same thing. If y'all need me to put this, I guess I can put this breakdown of like what should be doing each day in the group under one of the posts or something. Maybe it'll be a little helpful. But I hope this was helpful. I know it's 11 o'clock, 11:01. If y'all have any questions too, I guess y'all can post them in that underneath there and I'll answer them because I don't want to keep y'all because this is supposed to be short and sweet and you can do this anywhere. So once you get the hang of it and doing it every day, it's like it just happens. So thanks guys for getting on. Is there anything you wanted to say or do, Emmett? Your name doesn't say Emmett on there, so it's throwing me off.
Apparently, I've been unmuted the whole time too. So
Yeah, you have. I was like, he's been really quiet for once in his life.
Anyway, we thank you for joining, Hannah. Thank everybody for joining. Next week we have who do we have? Oh, next week we have Ryan Ritz, and so she is going to bring the heat as well. And so y'all tune in next Wednesday. Tell your teams, tell everybody. This is a free call and it's made for you guys, and there's no reason that they shouldn't log on or at least listen, because I know a lot of these calls are kind of like especially if you've been in as long as Hannah has, some of the information stays the same, but there's a reason that we keep having these calls, is because your new people don't get it, or maybe you've been in it for a while and you've forgotten it, or maybe you just didn't listen to it the first time. And so this is valuable information, and I don't have anything else to add. Hannah did a great job, and we appreciate you for doing that. Guys, next Wednesday, 10 o'clock. See you then.
Bye.